Hello, and thank you to listening to The Bo's Nose, a podcast about QI Roberts Jr. Senior High School in Putnam County, Florida. I'm your host, Mr. Bose, and today we'll be talking with guests from our High School Astronaut Challenge team. Welcome, and thank you for joining me today. Please introduce yourselves to our listeners.
My name is Ashton Dufek.
My name's Envy Dufek.
I'm William Dalton.
I'm Nolan Getz.
Thanks for joining me today. Podcast starts out with the same 4 questions. First one is, what's your favorite topic in school and why?
Honestly, I just love math and science and STEM-related stuff. It's just something I like.
I like probably English the best because that's what I get the best grade in.
I like math. I'm not good at any. I'm not good at English.
I think science is my favorite because it comes the easiest to me.
All right, very good. Next question is, what is your favorite QI story or tradition?
Ooh, that's actually a really good question.
I see you laughing.
Personally, well, we haven't done it in the last 2 years. It mainly started with COVID, but I think the talent show was probably one of my favorite as one of the main people in it. But I also loved the fact that many people enjoyed it.
I remember that.
That was
So
horrid.
why I regret everything.
Okay, I won audience favorite. That's all that matters.
Yeah, totally.
I did. That was the award I got.
I was the only one that didn't do a music-related act.
I
You
remember
were
that.
in it?
Yeah, he did a magic trick.
Oh my gosh.
We are hoping to try to resurrect that this year, so we'll see how the
Good.
schedule falls.
I don't really have a favorite tradition because I don't really remember a lot, but probably one of my favorite stories happened in Color Guard. So, long story short, whenever I was new at Color Guard, the first season I had was indoor season, and it's kind of not the best story, but I did a toss and it landed on my face, and
Yeah.
and so the guards started panicking because I had like blood rushing from my head, and I was like, and I thought I was crying. So I went to like try and wipe my face, and I looked at my hand, and then we all started panicking. But it was after school, and it was super chaotic.
Mm-hmm.
But I got a cool Band-Aid, and I got to continue practice.
Was it Barbie or Kent?
It was an astronaut Band-Aid.
Barbie.
It was
Ironic.
space themed.
Hey, what do you do?
It's probably my favorite story.
I personally like the pep rallies.
That's the same answer for me, too.
That was the only one with story.
Yeah.
Alrighty, next question. If you could have coffee with anyone dead or alive, who would it be and why?
Oh, I got a lot of good answers for this, but nobody would know who these people are. At this school, I forgot his last name. I only remember his first name. His name was Sean. I forgot his last name. He was the coolest dude ever. He was just a cool guy. I'd love to have coffee with him.
Probably Vincent van Gogh. I think that'd be an interesting conversation in figuring out why he would send his cut off ear to his not so lover.
Would you
know?
not?
I'd probably have to go with probably one of the founding fathers just to see how I would like to listen to how they talk. I just imagine they have a weird accent.
I kind of have 2 answers. I mean, the two of you chose historical people. I was just going to choose Harold Ramis because I'm a movie fan.
Okay.
The Egon Spengler would be cool. But historically, I think Edgar Allan Poe. I have a lot of different questions I'd have for him.
Okay, very good. I think those great coffee conversations from everybody there. Last question, quality, integrity, respect, which one and why?
Yeah, I'll go with, I believe respect is probably the most important out of them, because it's, out of all of them, probably the most mutually exclusive. Respect is between 2 people exclusively, or lots of people, honestly. So it's just important in that way, and it shows your social values and so on, and forces you to hold up those other 3.
I'd probably also go with respect. Pretty much the same reasons. And also, I don't think you can have integrity and the rest of them without respect, Because if you have like integrity without respect, it's not really integrity.
I was actually thinking integrity because if you have integrity, that kind of shows that you also have quality and respect.
I choose respect. It's one of the most important things that you can have for other people in today's world, and just, not just today's world, but in overall.
Very good. So now let's get into it. And why don't you all tell our listeners about the Astronaut Challenge and about the high school astronaut team?
So the Astronaut Challenge is going to be an event that's at the Kennedy Space Center. It originally started, we all got a test, and we ended up getting designated to the beta section of it, where we'll be doing beta testing for a rocket simulator challenge, where there will be 4 teams competing, and it's basically 1 team gets eliminated per day until there's no teams left. The days, they're over the 3 days, there's going to be increasing scale of challenge. The first day, we're just piloting the rocket. No anomalies or anything. The second day, we receive a separate little book with our checklists that we run on the first day. And one anomaly or maybe 2 will go wrong, and we have to go through that booklet, find out what's wrong, and then we have to devise a solution and execute it. And then the third day, if we make it that far, is going to be another booklet that we get, which has all the schematics of the rocket and the people that are designed to the Houston part of the rocket simulation will have to basically guide us on what specific part of the ship is going wrong. And then people in the rocket have to make the choice of what to do about it. And that'll be the basic astronaut challenge. But there's also many other parts that will be going on at the same time, such as the mailbox challenge. Andy, would you like to explain those?
Sure, I would also like to comment on the technical actual astronaut challenge.
Go ahead.
We're basically launching a rocket just in a simulator, because if we actually did that, oh no. So anyways, the mailbox challenge is we're trying to build a mailbox that, if we win, is going to be placed in Kennedy Space Center. And there's a program in which people send in mail, and they get to basically put it in a rocket and then send it back with stamps like "Ben to space," something like that. But not a lot of people actually know about the program. And the mailbox challenge is a way to kind of like endorse the challenge or endorse the program.
Wait, like, so I can send mail to NASA and they'll send it to space?
Yeah, pretty much.
Blue Origin, but yeah.
Blue Origin.
It's gone to space. That's cool.
Yeah.
It's a public program that was already available to everybody, but not many people knew about it, so not many letters were getting sent to space.
I think my Christmas cards are going to have to be sent to space next year.
Also, we have to do a landing simulator in which we have 2 people for each one. One of them is, ground control, like, I forget the name for it. But, and then we have someone that's actually flying the shuttle and landing it.
Very cool. So why did the 4 of you choose to be a part of this? Other than that it sounds like the coolest thing ever.
Personally, for me, it was firstly, just when you looked at the papers themselves, a very, very huge puzzle problem-solving type event. And I personally love types of stuff like that. I love huge challenges that are overwhelming. That's just usually something I love to take part in, especially when it's something as cool as this.
So technically, I didn't choose to be in it. What what happened was, at first I got the papers and we were starting with the test, and I was like, okay, yeah, I can do this, but I had so much other stuff going on that I felt like I couldn't really prioritize the Astronauts Challenge as something that I would fit into my schedule. And then the literal day of the test, which we had, it was probably like 30 minutes beforehand to study more before the first time taking the test, which we had to retake the test like 2 or 3 different times. It was interesting. Ashton sends me a text message, is like, hey, we have 1 open spot. get down here. And so I was in my Spanish class, and I was like, hey, Miss Dollar, can I go? She's like, you know what, sure. So I took the test, and we got placed in the last place, but
So is this something that you think we'll do as a school, we'll do again next year if they offer the challenge?
Yes. I'm sure this will continue on for a good bit because it is really fun and awesome.
Okay. So kind of elaborate on that awesome, like why should other students want to be a part of the Astronaut Challenge?
Well, for one, it's free, and you don't have to have any prior experience or anything to join it. And second of all, we get to go on a 3-day trip to Kennedy Space Center for $20.
it's also a really great academic opportunity to learn, and it would look great on your resume. Yeah.
And one of the things for me is that you get experience, because the rocket we're launching is the Space Shuttle Atlantis. You get experience within the simulation, what you would do here, how you'd be able to. So you get knowledge of the rocket if you're into studying the Space Shuttle and stuff.
Also, it's just overall an amazing team building and communications exercise that a lot of people should take just for the learning experience. But lastly, I'd say there's also a lot of colleges and whatnot over there that are looking and watching this. And what I've heard from Mr. Lewandowski is that they're looking to see the people that are communicating well, the people that win this, and they are looking to give them scholarships and entries.
Indeed. So you've all kind of talked a little bit about it already with that last question, but what's your favorite part of being a part of the Astronaut Challenge, and why?
I think I have a few. Me being the absolute space nerd that I am, this is always a lot of fun for me to do. I have a lot of fun running the simulations, even if it's we know we're under a lot of stress, we have a lot of things to do. It's still really fun to get to run the simulations, get learn more about everything.
I think it's just cool because it helps build so many different communication and team building skills, and we're all laughing the entire time while doing simulators and just having a bunch of fun.
It really is a lot of fun.
It's, yeah, like Will said, it's a lot of fun. You can also improve how you are under pressure, which is a great test-taken skill. And just in general, it's a nice skill to have. It's also really cool when you think about it, because we get to launch a space rocket, even though it's just a simulator. It's still a really cool thing.
Plus, in my opinion, my favorite part of the thing overall is the fact that it's all the communication that, especially in the gauntlet there's a 2-minute sector that occurs about 9 minutes in which it goes from this sorted out script where we're reading one after another to this just jumble mess of chaos in which we must control to keep the ship from, doing what we don't want it to do.
We have to do 30 to 35 things on the checklist.
It's about 35 different things we have to do, and also we have to start them at certain times. We have to interrupt over each other.
So if you're talking about the space shuttle, that timing, is that right around when you roll a shuttle and lose the SRBs?
That is the main engine cutoff.
Okay. So T plus 9 minutes.
Yes, T plus 9 minutes is when it starts.
And we have a minute and a half to complete the gauntlet.
Yep. No, it's about a minute and a half, 2 minutes.
Okay, so it's losing the external fuel tank and doing
Yes.
basically your final orbital injection.
Mm-hmm. It's the final part before all of that, yeah.
Very cool.
But it's very stressful with the back and forth. You have to be on your roll, ready to say the things that you need to say. You need to be looking at the script. You need to be listening to what other people say, getting ready to shorten the words and abbreviate things when you need to. It's very stressful, but our team has been doing a very good job on it.
That's great. So when is when's the beta competition that you all will be participating in?
About
The
2
beta.
weeks.
Oh, yeah.
February 5th.
Yeah.
It's about 2 weeks, 5th through 8th.
February 5th through the 8th. Alrighty. So listeners, keep an eye on QI social media streams. I'm sure we'll be posting stuff there of both our high school team and our junior high team competing in the Astronaut Challenge. And hopefully we'll hear from the junior high team here in the future. Do any of you have anything else to add before we end this thing today?
Anyone listening, you should definitely consider joining this next year.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Not if. When we do it again, like, it is a lot of fun every single time. And like Will said, even if you know nothing about like all the rocket stuff, you can learn. That's not really an issue. But you just get like an amazing experience and opportunity.
Indeed. This is also basically our first year doing this. So starting next year, it's going to be a big difference in the education and the experience overall, honestly. And I think next year they'll have an amazing chance.
That's great. Everybody's got to start somewhere. So thank you all for being here. Listeners, if you like the podcast, please be sure to subscribe to the podcast so you can catch future episodes. And be sure to give QI Roberts Student Government a follow on Facebook and Instagram to stay up to date on future episodes and happenings around QI. If you feel we've earned it, please rate and review us on your podcast player of choice and share with a friend. Thank you, Knights, and remember, excellence in all endeavors.